So next thing I put could be number one. Who knows? Is are you a team player? Was I a team player? Am I a team player? That's the question you want to ask. What does that mean? Because that's a loosely used term too. Um, so a team player, you do all the things that we talked about already. You compete, you battle, you have your identity, you go to war and all that kind of stuff. But do you put the team first? And it's a really hard concept for a lot of people because obviously we're to some degree selfish. We want the ice time, we want the goals, we want everything to work in our favor. But do you put the team first? Are you doing your job to make the team better, or are you doing things to make yourself better? And you can do both, right? Um, do you make others better? That's what a team guy does. They make others better, and it's not always on the ice, right? Sometimes you can see a guy on your team that's maybe struggling, and it's just a talk, it's a tap in the ass, um, it's a screw you, get your head out of your ass. It could be like a variation, different things, but it's seeing what your team needs sometimes, right? And not just looking at yourself as the only important piece. It's like there's other pieces to the team that make it work, right? You sacrifice for the team's needs. Like if the coach was to ask you, Eric hasn't scored or Eric's hot right now, and you're a little bit whatever. Need you to be a checker, not a goal scorer. Like, do you accept that? And I'm not saying accept it like, okay, that's my lot in life, but it's like what the team needs right now, right? It might be, the offensive player not uh, the offensive player because in a game situation we don't need any more goals. It's like to tone down. Don't worry about scoring. Let's shut guys down and stuff, or whatever the coach is asking. It's because the team needs that. And basically, when you put that in a nutshell, it's the first thing that a team player will be always be thinking is what is the team mission. So if you listen to a lot of um, military, Navy SEAL, anything like that, that's what they talk about is the mission. The mission is number one. So if you think about that, um, in that field, they truly actually treat the mission as the number one thing, and the part of that mission could mean death, and part of that death could be me, could be you, right? And they go in there and saying, "Well, I sacrificed the team for the mission," and that's the extreme. So in the hockey world, it's like, is your one goal the mission? Is your mission to win the championship? Is that the team mission? Is your mission to play a certain way? Is your mission to this? They do this, and that means that you don't get to be like the guy with the bright shiny toys all over them. It might be you have more of a vanilla role, but do you accept that because for the sake of the mission, that's important, right? And I think that's really really good. And with that, I'll just finish, and then you can jump in. Um, Kind of like you're willing to do any job for that mission. So like you go back to the military. It's like, okay, you're good at this, but the team leader needs to do this. It is what it is. Okay, I do it. It's just you're just one piece of a puzzle, and when you understand it, you really when you actually understand it, it's not so insulting when the coach says you're not a goal scorer. I need you to shut the first line down, or I need you to be a shutdown D, or I need you to finish checks, or I need you to score goals, whatever. It's not that important because the guy that scores goals should score goals, or the offensive line. That's their job. Your job is this: the defensive defenseman, the goalie, whatever your jobs are. Now it's like, yeah, that guy might get more of the glory right now, but it's actually not that important because without you doing yours, it doesn't work. So, like, really understanding that you're just one piece, not just one piece, you're one piece, and this guy's one piece, and together, that's what makes the team, and that's what makes the team achieve the missions, and that's what makes a team succeed, and it makes everyone equally important. So now, the guy that is the goal scorer and it does his job. It's just he did his job. And the guy that chips the puck out and gets it deep and maybe finishes a check, that's his job. One is not more important than the other. It's part of the job. So when you actually look at it like that, you can take a lot of pride in doing your job, doing it well, and doing it for the betterment of the team. And that means you might sacrifice points for less glamorous roles. And you might not get the first star, and you might not get the newspaper clippings and the Instagram things, but everyone in that team knows that without you, we don't win.
Yeah. So like rewind a bit because that last thread about that team mission thing, I love that. Um, but you mentioned something a few minutes ago. If being a good teammate is not always on the ice, so you're saying like sometimes it's a tap on the ass, sometimes it's a pick me up, and just like breeze by it, saying like sometimes it's also the opposite. Like sometimes it's calling out a guy who is a pain in the ass, and like sometimes you get this. Like you'll see sometimes there's a fight in practice or something, where guys just someone is way over the line. Sometimes it's just the heat of the moment, like competition, whatever. But sometimes it's like a guy that's over the line, and somebody wants to go do something about it. So I think that's an important thing to know too, is because a lot of times you can sit, and I remember even being a young guy on a junior team, because it's hard to speak up when you're new or young or whatever. But I remember struggling with that, and then as I got older, obviously, because oh Jesus Christ, are you dying?
There we go.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Wrong pipe.
Yeah, I guess.
Um,
Sorry, buddy.
no, it's all right. So if you're a young guy, I remember that being tough. If you're, as I got older, me with my big mouth, I had an easy time. If there was something out of line, I would yap about it, or I would call someone out about it, whatever. And sure, obviously, I'm going to get it back. They're going to say something about me that's going to try to hurt my feelings or whatever. That's a common thing for teenagers to do, or if you're under 20. But the point being, sometimes somebody needs to say something when there's something negative going on. So on the one hand, it's the pick me up, but on the other hand, sometimes it's this guy. It's too much with this guy. Someone needs to say something, and sometimes you might get backlash for it. Like it could happen, right? But it's being able to judge that. I think that's an important thing.
Yeah, well, like just beating that one a little bit. Like there's several ways, and I think I got it deeper in this, but it's you're looking around the room and you can see maybe a younger guy, older guy, doesn't matter. Maybe he gets scratched. Maybe he's not getting the ice that he would like to have, and he's feeling like, what am I even doing here? Like because you ever been in that position where you feel like you're better than you are, or maybe you're actually getting screwed. A teammate's gonna actually talk. We're gonna talk, right? We're gonna talk. Eric, just keep working. You know what? Like, find out what the deal is. Like, maybe I'm honest enough to say you're not doing your job. Like, you have to pick it up here. I can see it. Or your body language is dragging us all down. Like all that kind of stuff. Could be kicking you right in the ass and saying like, you're just not there, bud. Like, let's go. And or you see a young kid on your team and he misses his mom and dad. Like, I mean, like they're young, right? Like I'm talking like at the junior level, right? You move away from home for the first time and see a kid maybe not himself. Like it's like a good veteran guy or a good team guy is going to make sure that you include him in something that makes him feel good about himself. Let him know he's in good hands here and all that kind of stuff, right? Like that's what's being a good teammate. A good teammate's also, it's not always talk, right? Not in fact, mostly it's not talk. It's action. So you could yell at someone for not picking up the garbage in the middle of the room, or you could walk over there and you grab the tape, maybe even look at people, or not, and throw it in the garbage because you don't like it there. And when a young guy, or especially when the better guys, like the higher end guys, do stuff like this, the leaders, um, when you do something like that, or treat the trainers extremely well, and the massage guys and all that stuff, then all the younger guys or the guys that don't think it's important go, oh, okay, that's cool. It's your setting example. You don't have to say a word. You just do it, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, young guys too, because they can come in with the attitude. I've heard guys close to us where you hear about them. They're pain in the ass, not a good teammate, think they're above the team stuff, and sometimes you need somebody to smack them in the ass that's on the team, right? The other thing I wanted to touch on was we're talking about the team mission is first and all that. So if you are in the military, for example, you're already in the military. You're not trying to move up necessarily. Maybe you're trying to move up to be a more senior role or whatever. But in terms of like you're already on the team, it's like you're here. If you're in the NHL, you're already on the team. You're here now. So to me, accepting my role when I know I'm not, there's nothing else I'm striving for. Like I'm here now. That seems like a lot easier than when you're still trying to make the jumps. You're still trying to get to the next level and be elite and stand out and all of those things. So how do you, from in like keeping with that theme, the team perspective, talk a little bit more about that, how do I balance, like I individually want to be successful. I individually want to stand out and be somebody that people are scouting, looking at, recruiting, etc., while also being the team guy. Like, because that is like the most common thing ever. It's like everybody, it's it's yeah, they care about the team doing well as long as they're doing well, as opposed to the opposite or whatever, right?
99.9% of the times, it's I care about me more about we.
Right.